Welcome back to a little update video. As always, I'm using the Fractal theory, tutorial video, explanation, rules, and so on and so on. I will link at the end of the video. Okay. Well, then let's jump into AMC. So, first of all, sorry if I sound a little bit weird, but I'm the only one or one of the few who are able to get a cold in summer. Perfect. For the tracking, it was a pretty good run yesterday. Nice. But nothing changed to our tracking. Yeah, just saying. One thing, version 1 is dead. As I said in the last video, in the moment we're breaking M, the version where we go under 161 is not there anymore. The bullish version that we're breaking 161 is not there anymore. But other side, but otherwise, we didn't broke $3. Yeah, as long as we're not breaking $3, this will be our higher low. Yeah? And to make that absolutely clear, why I'm saying this. If we look at May 2024, we did our all-time low, A, B, C, pullback, and then we did our higher low. And this higher low also broke M. Yeah? The same thing happened in January 2021, 2 times. Yeah? The first one was January 13. The second one was January 20. And also here, we went up, did our pullback, higher low. Also this peak here went over M. The same for January 20. We went up, did our pullback, made our higher low. The same here was over M. So as long as we're not breaking $3 and squeeze, I still think we will do our higher low. How would that look like? Well, first of all, we could maybe still go a little bit up as long as we're not breaking $3. But the thing is, I wouldn't look for 290. If you go into 290, that's too high for a higher low. Yeah. So something between 275 and here, I would see our peak for the higher low. And if we say this was already the peak, then our target for the pullback is something in between 1.70 cents and 182. What I really want to see, because this is our little A, here's our little A, here's our little B, I want to go under 182, at least for this higher low. For timing, that depends on volume. Yeah? I mean, they had now the best earnings since whatever, ever. Yeah. I don't know if we do this, to make that absolutely clear. Such a knife, I mean, that would still be, I don't know, 25%. Maybe dilution news, I don't know. But if we're not doing this, if we do that slowly, we would do lower high, midpoint, T, V. This, if we do this, that's not only 1 week. I think this would bring us into August, just saying. Yeah. Of course, if we till Friday, for example, till this week Friday, if we do this, okay, perfect. Yeah. But it's even hard for me to explain that after that good news. Also, one thing, because people are saying, I just don't see dropping down there yet after this good news. Okay, well then just break $3. My argument against this, we are just going up, is why didn't we just gap? Because it was so perfect news. And the other thing is GameStop. GameStop is not moving a single cent upwards. So, So, 4 levels. We make that absolutely easy and clear. The run is started when we break $3. Yeah. Doesn't matter if we do this or if we do this. Yeah. The only question is this whole thing January 13 or January 20? The only question is, if we break $3, do we gap up to our big price targets? Or are we doing January 20? What do I mean with this? Here. That's the only question. Are we here? Or are we here? And if we are here, do we gap all this for the big squeeze? Or do we have to do this? The thing is, if we are here, and if we have to do January 20, I think this whole thing will at least take whole August. Because the thing is, timing is already completely weird and off the table. But if this whole thing was January 13th to January 15th, you only have to look. This took us till now 114 days. If we still have to do January 20, this will be another 110 days. Easy. Yeah? The price target for this would be, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, pullback, doing the higher low, and then we go further. Yeah? Would be the slow squeeze, if you want to say that. Or we just gap. Yeah. My personal price targets for the big squeeze are in the roadmap video, if you're interested. For levels, again, pretty easy. If you go over $3, we don't get the we don't get the high low. Yeah. Then this bullshit here is the same bullshit like here. Yeah. Then we just don't do high lows, and AMC just say fuck you. Yeah. To me. Yeah. If we're doing the higher low in this week, we are looking for 183, 170-ish for the higher low, and then we can go. What is absolutely sure in both versions, because we broke now M. Yeah, it's a no-go to break 161 or touch it. No-go. This is off the table. If we do touching or breaking 161, then this here was the peak of 2026. And this was lower high. In that case, you will still bounce somewhere in here. 130, 126, you will come up. But this will be your M, this will be your T. Until end of the year, you will break all-time low. It makes no sense. I don't really see it. But we have our levels. 161 is a no-go. Yeah? But, well, right now, it still looks perfect. Okay, next one is BYND. And BYND is really, 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 yeah. To make that clear, we didn't broke our low yesterday, but we were fucking close. To say how close we were, we are not allowed to touch or break 50 cents, 26 cents. Yeah? Where did we bounce yesterday? We bounced at 57.31 cents. That means we were 0.0004 cents away that I would sit here and say, guys, it's over. If this here, and we did a pretty good bounce. Yeah. If you want to look for a V, that's a pretty good V. But if this is holding, this would be the closest call I ever saw on BYND. The closest one. Yeah, I never had something so close to be that. But higher low is higher low. Even if it would have been 0.00001, would still be okay. Higher low is higher low. I'm also the opinion that the call out that this here was this here is pretty good. The stupid part is that I think if this is true, yeah, so let's say if this here was this here, yeah, the nerve-wracking trend is not over yet, yeah, because in that case we would be here, yeah. So if we're taking the sparse pattern, just to have an example, we would do something like this. I would say till end of July, August. And you already say why this would be shit, because hey, we go up. Oh no, oh no, oh no, it's over. Hey, we go up. Oh no, it's over. We would still be in this absolutely death area. Yeah. But the thing is, if this is still bullish, I think if we're holding this and we really do this, I don't think we will do something like this anymore. Yeah. Our main target for BYND is still, if we are bullish, July, August, and it's still the next move to 15 to 44. Yeah. And because of this bullshit down here, I think the Fractal will just wait till the last second, and then we would just repeat October. Yeah, we would just do this. I lean really more and more to this. Yeah, I don't think we will do A, B, up. I will just say up. Yeah, the only thing we have to do is really holding 57 cents. Yeah, if we're not holding 57 cents, again, we will talk about that for FFAI today too. If we break this, I think we will break all-time low too. Yeah. And then we will really go low. Yeah. And again, BYND already voted for a reverse split. If we do that, you will get the reverse split. For levels, yeah, nothing changed. I still have my position yet. My stop loss is 57. I'm still bearish. Yeah. Since this moment here. I get bullish if we break 84 cents, just to get out of this shitty range here. Yeah. Yeah. That's what, and of course we don't allow, we are not allowed to touch 57.27 cents. One last hopium tracking, yeah, to make that absolutely clear. And I don't know why I never thought about it, but hopium, to make that absolutely clear, hopium, and I won't play it. Yeah. If we break 57 cents, if there's still a version where it's not over, yeah, in that case, this would be your C, your lower high, midpoint, and this whole thing would be just T. It's weird. And normally I would say not possible. And that's why I don't move my stop loss. Yeah. Because the T is coming so close to M is not normal. But if you look at this right now, as long as you're not breaking 50 cents, the higher low is still intact. Yeah. So if we break 57 cents, for the hopium tracking, you can drop to 49. Yeah. And then doing higher low, and then you go. It's possible. If we do that, I would say we will fall into August 8. Yeah. And then we should reversal. My only problem with this hopium tracking is that, like FFAI, which we will talk about in a second, if this T is breaking, I expect a bigger drop. Yeah, not just such a small one, a bigger one. And then also this hopium tracking is that. But if you want to be risky, I'm not saying it will happen. This V looked promising yesterday. So maybe we don't even have to talk about it. Yeah, just do this bullshit I showed before, and then we can go. But if you break 57 cents and you want to be risky, that's your last chance. Yeah, but under 49, there is no hopium tracking, no bullish tracking, nothing. Yeah, just saying. Okay, well then let's look in FFAI. Not a really update on FFAI, just a little warning. Yeah, first of all, FFAI is now looking for macro V, wherever it is. Yeah, there's no landmark left. Also for warning, like for BYND, yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, here we track this as a higher low. In the moment we broke it, this became macro T, and we knifed. And then we had this little T off T. Yeah, we tracked this as a higher low, we broke it, and we fucking knifed. Yeah, that's why I don't see, if we break 57 cents on BYND, that we will stop at 49. Yeah, just saying. The little warning on FFAI is we are sitting now at 11 cents. And because I got also yesterday, hey, we had so much volume. Are we now squeezing? Yeah. For my tracking, no chance. Even if you have, I don't know, 500 million volume, you still need a higher low. Before you do a higher low, you can do whatever you want. You're not squeezing. Yeah. So even if this would have been a higher low, which it wasn't because we broke it again, if you do this is not a squeeze. You still need a higher low. So, but my warning, first of all, I see a very good case that we just did this. Yeah, that means you would still come lower. And if you come lower, you're breaking 10 cents. It was our target, or my target. The problem here is, in the moment you're breaking 10 cents, the 10 trading days rule is starting. Yeah. After this, the same thing like GDC. Yeah. After the 10 trading days, you are delisted from NASDAQ. There is no talking. There is no second chance. 10 days under 10 cents and you are gone. And here comes my warning. I think we will do that. And that's why I tell you, the risk that FFAI is getting a reverse split in the next 2 or 3 weeks, yeah, is for me at 95%. No financial advice. Could be wrong. But this now looks terrible. Yeah? Just for the people who still want to hold. Yeah. Okay, then a little update to OKLO, just because we talked about that in the last videos. For the simple tracking overview, we had our V, our A, 0.5 pullback up to our B, 6.8 pullback. I said already in the last video, I'm looking for a bounce here. Yeah, perfect. We don't have a confirmation yet, but right now this is a nice V. What would be the next move? We have 2 versions. We're doing higher low and go, or we just go. Pretty easy. For the higher low, I see maximum 57 cents. Yeah, something like this, and then we go. I don't think we will do an A pullback here, so I don't think we will do this A B, just because of the previous uptrends. Our first uptrend was the IPO this year. Yeah, you did no higher low here and just went up. Yeah, the first real pullback was here, this little B. And the second uptrend we can look at is this one. Here we did a higher low, but also the first real pullback was the little B. So the only question for me personally is, are we doing here the higher low or not? I don't think we will see a bigger pullback at A. The next real pullback would be little B here. I think we will get here a 0.5 pullback. And then the only question is, are we breaking all-time highs or not? And this level is something over 120. Yeah. No reverse splits, no splits at all or something else. So all these numbers here are real. For levels in general, everything over 62 is too high for higher low, and we're just going. For the downside, everything under 34 is getting really bearish, and absolutely confirmation to the downside is 28. If we break 28, something is wrong. This was a peak and we will go lower. Doesn't look like it right now, but so we have our levels. Okay, next one, open. And open is taking its fucking time. Yeah. For the quick overview, we had our IPO peak, lower high, midpoint T, fell to our all-time low, broke out of the main trend line, went near T, did a breakout retest and a perfect 0.5 pullback, break up again, went to our M, which is our B, and did a 0.5 pullback. And since this moment, we touched the 0.5, we just really go sideways. We had two versions here. Yeah. The first version would have been that this was our V. This is a higher low and we go up. I warned about it that if we do that, we have to break $5.64. And I warned about that if we reject here, the possibility that this is just a little T of B is very high. And I think right now it's no discussion anymore that we did reject it. So what do we do? The thing is, I still think we need a little bit more pullback. Yeah, something we have to go under $4.09, somewhere in this range. So $4.380-ish should be then our V. Then we can do a little higher low and then we can go. Yeah, to where? My target is, because this is B pullback, we have to at least break this peak. Something over $11. My price targets, no financial advice, is between $11 and $40. Maybe we'll break all-time highs. If we do that, whatever number, I would sell into this area. Just a little bit every step, and holding some for new all-time highs. For levels, as I said, I want to go under $4.09. We are not allowed to break $3. If we just knife down here, this was a peak and our target is way, way lower. Yeah. So $3 is our no-no line. If we, out whatever reason, just go up from here, if we break 562, then whatever this here is, we go up. I just don't see it. Yeah. But for timing, I don't know. Yeah. This bullshit here, for me personally, back then it should be already finished here, and then we added this bullshit. Yeah. So yeah, right now it's just a levels play, in my opinion. Okay. And the last one for today is DOCU. Again, a little update, because it's looking so fantastic. For our macro position, I still think we are here. December 2018 would be this thing here. Yeah. And we would doing this right now. Yeah. So for bars pattern, it would look something like this. Our target is still between 112 to 150-ish. Yeah. Till end of year. And we're only waiting for the break. Yeah, because this one should be pretty vertical. The thing is, if you didn't watch the last videos, yeah, this looks fucking the same like this. I still think that this is just a little brother of the big brother. Yeah? But I don't see that we are here. I mean, if we're getting even higher price targets, yeah. But the problem here is, if you look back here, this was a 618 pullback. And we are too low. This is under the 786, so this is just a high low. But fractals are repeating itself all the time. That's why, and I fell into the same trap. because back here, I really thought we just in here. Yeah. But fractals are looking always the same. For levels, because right now we're just doing nothing. Yeah, this is just up, trend line 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 up, trend line. This is nothing. That's not even fractal. This thing is waiting on something. In my opinion, this is waiting for the break. But still, for the levels, first resistance level is $57. We have to go over this. Yeah, we don't want to reject here. That would be bad. And the next big resistance level is this trend line here. Yeah. We have to go over 65 cents. If we reject here, that's also bad. Yeah. But if we break this, oh my God. Yeah. Again, this bars pattern is no joke. It is really no joke. And I really don't know, of course, no financial advice, but I really don't know what will happen to DOCU. Because the main point here is we're just playing this right now. And this pullback will be a 618 or break or retest. But if this is already around 150 to 110, what the fuck is this then? Because really, this will shoot us. Wow. So I don't know what will happen to this company. But right now, it looks fantastic. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. As always, tutorial video here, playlist here. The big roadmap video with my not financial advice price targets are back there. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more, leave an abo. And let's see what happens in the rest of the week. Yeah.